Are you troubled by strange noises in the middle of the night? Do you experience feelings of dread from your basement or attic? Have you or your family ever seen a spook, specter, or ghost? If the answer is yes, then don't waste another minute. Get in your car and go see Ghostbusters Afterlife. You won't regret it. 37 years ago, audiences would be introduced to Ghostbusters. From the minds of Dan Aykroyd and Harold Ramis, produced and directed by Ivan Reitman, the original Ghostbusters was a smash hit and cultural phenomenon. Now Jason Reitman, son of Ivan Reitman, and accomplished director of movies such as Juno and Up in the Air, picks up the reins, or proton pack, set aside by his father, to direct Ghostbusters Afterlife. Unlike the 2016 reboot debacle, Afterlife is set within the same continuity of the original Ghostbuster films, and picks up in real time 37 years after the original. Focusing on the family of Egon Spengler, who have inherited an old abandoned farm in the middle of nowhere after Egon's passing, what they discover there will connect them to the original Ghostbusters and an evil believed to have been defeated decades ago. Hitting the right nostalgic notes while telling its own story, Ghostbusters Afterlife, also unlike the 2016 reboot, actually does justice to the original franchise, with attention to detail in all the right ways regarding the homages it makes to the past. Focusing on the grandchildren of Egon Spengler, originally played by the late Harold Ramis, Afterlife pays homage not only to the original film, but also to the man who helped bring the franchise to life. While this focus on kids has been a gripe to some audience members, I can say Ghostbusters Afterlife is more than Stranger Things with ghosts, despite the fact that Finn Wolfhard is in both properties. Afterlife places Egon squarely at the heart of the film, and his presence is greatly felt throughout. Using his grandchildren, Phoebe, played by the fantastic McKenna Grace, and Trevor, played by the aforementioned Finn Wolfhard, to reintroduce audiences to the world and tech of Ghostbusters helps reignite the nostalgia with some childlike wonder, something also aided by Paul Rudd playing Mr. Gruberson, Phoebe's teacher. Playing a little over 2 hours, the film does bog down in the middle, with so much time devoted to introducing new characters, reintroducing old concepts to audiences, and of course delivering upon the nostalgic hype with reveals of ghost traps, proton packs, and the Ecto-1, on top of the emotional centerpiece dedicated to Harold Ramis. The film takes a little too much time to get to the meat of the story. And with a climax heavily dependent upon the plot of the original film, the ending feels a tad rushed, as Reitman relies a tad too much on fans having seen the original, where each act and set piece of the first movie flows right into each other, driving the story towards its climax. The focus of Afterlife's plot feels more disjointed. And while the movie is a beautiful love letter to Ramis and his part in Ghostbusters, it's not as beautiful a love letter to the original Ghostbusters film as a whole. Ghostbusters Afterlife is still satisfying and a worthy sequel to the original. It's good and does nail plenty of nostalgic moments, but taking away the focus of Egon and the nostalgic callback to the original, we aren't left with a lot of well thought out plot. I'm not saying the story is bad by any means, just that most of the plot points in the film feel a bit too convenient. As a longtime fan who grew up watching the originals, I was happy by the film's end. While I wish the film had been a bit tighter and more focused, it does honor its past satisfyingly enough, and is genuinely funny with an endearing lead in McKenna Page. Ghostbusters Afterlife proves there is still life left in the property. I give Ghostbusters Afterlife 3 out of 4 stars.